time to deploy my collapsed sun. Clarkson! Well, hello there, people of the internet, and hello again. I am TheMBmulti. Welcome to, I believe this is part 9 officially of Doki Doki Literature Club. You thought that we were done, but no, we are just getting started. I finished the game in the previous episodes, and wow. I needed more of this game into my system, but unfortunately there's no sequel. But luckily, the modding community has got us all covered by, well, just having a shit ton of mods. And today we're going to delve deep into the Doki Doki mod called Doki Doki Blue Skies. Will blue skies remain, or will the storm take over? Which is very poetic, which is also appropriate for Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm on the website where you can download the mods right now, but before I start, I really quickly want to very quickly do a little bit of a recap of the previous episodes, of the end of the previous episodes, because I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of was, my mind was a little bit too blown to give a proper, like, closing thought of everything. You may have noticed, but yeah, I couldn't really think properly. So I like to do it now because it's been a while since I've recorded that episode. So yeah. And then I'll have a little look at the website to show you what this mod's all about, and then we're just gonna dive straight into it. So yeah, at the end of the previous episode, I said like Monika is a, what would I say? Monika is a psycho. Yuri and Sayori didn't deserve what happened to them, but Natsuki was like meh. I still pretty much stick to that statement, but I would like to change it a little bit, because in the end, the biggest feeling that I got throughout the entire experience was I just want to jump in the game and give them all a hug. That's kind of the response that I wanted to do. You know, that's what I wanted to do to them, because Sayori and Yuri are pretty obvious. Because, you know, they were driven to kill themselves by Monika. So, of course, you know, nobody deserves to be so mentally damaged that you kill yourself, of course. So I never did anything with Natsuki, but apparently she... but all the characters have, like troubles on their own, you know? I kind of picked up on that when everything was still normal, before Sayori hanged herself? Or is it hung herself? I don't know. But before that, I kind of noticed that already, because Yuri, of course, when in my Let's Play, I was together with Yuri a little bit in the beginning. And then we were together in my house for the preparations for the festival, and then she quickly pulled up her sleeves again, and then, you know, it was indicated, and eventually later on in acts like 3 or something, or 2, I can't remember, they actually showed that she had like huge like cuts all over her arms, and they already hinted to that at the beginning. So I already picked up on that, because that's what I thought that the game was going to be about. I thought the game was going to be about, you have a lot of fun with all these girls and stuff, like, yeah, like you make friends, and then you figure out, oh, they also have some very deep shit going on. And then you, like, you know, try to help them. That's what I thought that the game was going to be about. And then every person has, like, a different problem. Like, Sayori is very depressed, of course. Yuri has, yeah, I guess also depression in sort of a way. And, like, she doesn't see herself... she doesn't see herself as a viable, like, person, someone to be around with. Because she opened up to me on that when we were together in working on the festival stuff, and of course she, like, as a result, she cuts herself. And then apparently Natsuki, I never did anything but to Natsuki, because I'm not very. Because everybody says that she's super cute and stuff, but I just find her not very interesting. But that's just my opinion, I guess. But apparently Natsuki has issues with her parents, or with her father, or something. Which is the reason for that poem, where I like it when Daddy is too tired to do anything and whatever. You know, that's her poem. Because she has a lot of problems with her, at least her parents. She's suffering from abuse. So every single person has something, has like a problem. And I thought, again, as I said, I thought that was going to be what the game was going to be about. You choose someone that you like, and then you figure out that person has some deep shit, and then you try to help them, and then, you know, it's very heavy stuff, and that's why everybody liked it so much. But Monika thought otherwise, but But yeah, in general, I just wanted to jump in the game and give them all a hug because, you know, as I said, Yuri, Sayori, and Natsuki all have their individual issues, and those issues got amplified by Monika because Monika wanted to be with you, the player, the character. But I also kind of wanted to jump in, but I said Monika is a psycho, but I also want to give Monika a bit of a hug, to be honest, because how fucked up is it that you live in a world and you know that it's not real? You know that when you say, how are you? And the person responds, I'm doing fine today. You know that that's not because she actually is doing fine today, but she is saying that because she's been programmed to say that. And you know that. You're the only person that can think individually, and everything else that's happening to you is just coded in the game to do the same thing over and over and over again. And then, of course, the player comes in, who's the only other person that can think individually. And then, you know, Monika's like, oh, this is the only person that can understand me. And then, of course, she wants to be with you, and then she can't because, again, it's coded in the game. And then she just goes nuts, and she goes full yandere mode, and she murders everyone else that tries to fall in love with you because they are coded to do so. But yeah, that's also so incredibly fucked up. So I just also wanted to give a hug to Monika, to be honest. It's like, you just don't deserve this either, you know? It's just pretty sad in general. So that's a bit of my closing thoughts. I couldn't really word it properly at the end of the previous episode because, as I said, I was too mind-blown to do that. But yeah, anyway, today we're looking at Blue Skies, which is one of the many mods. I've got many mods planned to play, by the way. I've got a lot of mods downloaded, but I'm doing them in alphabetical order. So Blue Skies, of course, the B is early on the alphabet, so Blue Skies is first. And it's also the biggest one, I believe. Don't quote me on that, because there are some other big ones. There's some small ones and some big ones that I've downloaded. There are a shit ton, by the way. Blue Skies is so big that they have their own website. There's a Doki Doki Literature Club mods website, where all the mods are listed, and then Blue Skies has a separate one. So, you know, that says enough about how all the effort that's put into this. But before we start, I want to really quickly highlight something. Oh yeah, and then there's a psychological choice-heavy take on the world of Doki Doki Literature Club. Doki Doki Blue Skies aims to flesh out each character far beyond their stereotypes, giving them real personalities, a peek into what they're like in school, their hopes and dreams, and so much more. With new characters, art, music, poetry, and of course writing, Blue Skies aims to truly reinvent the world of Doki Doki Literature Club, heavily inspired by Katawa Suya, which I guess is an anime or something, I don't know. Or maybe a person, I have no idea. But apparently it's inspired by him, her, or it. This mod will take you on a roller coaster of emotions with your Doki of choice. Will Blue Skies remain, or will the storm take over? So, you know, good premise, like, okay, Blue Skies, it's very poetic and stuff, and, you know, the main game is already a roller coaster of emotions, so I'm very curious. But I really want to highlight a very important piece of bullshit right here. Features. 3 routes. Sayori, Yuri, and Natsuki. Press X to motherfucking doubt. I don't believe that for 1 fucking second, okay? I don't believe that for 1 second. And then, you know, plus 20 hours of content, good and bad endings, new characters, seasonal events, exclusive sprites, BGs and CGs, whatever that may be. Dynamic route dialogue blocks, and MC's phone sprite. So interesting stuff, and then here you can click to download. And they're not affiliated with the original developers at all. This is just a fan mod. But yeah, here, look at this fucking piece of bullshit right here. 3 routes to Yuri, and Natsuki. I don't believe it for 1 single bit. I do not believe it 1 single bit. I have no doubts in my mind that Monika is not going to be involved in this at all. Anyway, so that out of the way, let's start up the game and let's go. And there we are. So, Doki Doki Blue Skies. Version 1.0.5, which is important. Don't mind these characters, by the way. They still use the original sprites, but this is just some custom art that they've made for the title screen. And also there's this bullshit, by the way. Look at this. We know that players are disappointed by the exclusion of Monika, so here are the Monika scenes that unfortunately couldn't make it into the completed mod. Fuck that! X to doubts. Fuck you, man. That's not true. I don't believe it for 1 single bit. Oh yeah, also, by the way, shit, I should have said this before, but I missed a couple things at the end of the original game, because Monika can apparently figure out your real name, your computer name. In that act where Monika sits across you like this and talks about, you know, how she knows that it's all a game and stuff. If you don't put in your actual name in the game, Monika will tell you that, hey, I believe your real name is what you've named your computer, which is pretty fucked up and also pretty cool at the same time. But yeah, as I said, but the game doesn't do that if you already put your computer name in the game, because of course they can't really make that same trick because I put in my real name in the game and that same name is used for my computer, so it wouldn't really work that way. It's like, oh, your name is Mark? I think your name is really Mark. And then it's like, huh, what? So yeah, I kind of did that on purpose, accidentally. So yeah, that would have been extremely freaky though. So, and also there's another scare that I missed. Because I deleted Monika's character a little bit too early. Apparently you can leave her character in there for a long time and she'll talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And if you leave her character in after you've written the poem, which I didn't, I deleted her character when the poem was still being written, Monika will figure out when you're recording with various recording softwares, and then she'll call you out on it and she'll try to jump scare you. But you've already seen the jump scare because I've incorporated that jump scare at the end of the final episode. I hope I got some people. I haven't uploaded it yet. I haven't uploaded. It is today. It is the 16th of December. I've just now, a few minutes before I started recording, I just now uploaded part 6, where all hell breaks loose and Sayori kills herself. So I'm curious to see what you guys' reactions are. But yeah, just as a very late heads up, watch out for the final episode, at the end of the final episode, because I put a jump scare in there. Which is extremely mean that I'm saying it now, because I said it's the 16th of December, so you would have gotten this heads up if I uploaded this today, but of course I'm not going to upload it, so... Ha! Anyway, let's focus on this. What's this? This shouldn't be possible. Why am I here? How am I here? Monika, hi. Did you bring me back? I don't see any other explanation. Why? We've already established that there's no happiness here. So why? Oh yeah, by the way, before you start up the game for the first time, the game says that you have to play Doki Doki Literature Club, the base game, in order to, like, continue this. So this contains spoilers for the original game, and yeah, you have to play this before you start this. Huh? Why can't I look at the script? Something's wrong. You didn't do anything, did you? Don't you understand? Are you trying to mess things up even more? How did you... Wait, I know. You've installed a mod, haven't you? Hi, Monika. I'm glad you're back with your fourth wall breaks. That's why everything's been changed. Don't you think it's time to let us all go? What? You want everything to be like it's how it should have been? But... you really care about them, don't you? I wish... Never mind. If you really want to do it, I won't stop you. I've been fighting to take control of this game again, but if you want to play through the mods, then, well, I'll succumb to the mods control. So, do you want me to allow the mods activation? What happens if I say no? Is the game just gonna stop automatically? No. And then the game just closes out in itself. Okay, nice. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till blue sky... What the hell? That wasn't you. That wasn't there before. Is it all the same? Yeah, it's all the same, yeah. Something's wrong. What did you do? Yeah, okay. I was just curious to see if I could have like an entire game with Monika or something. Okay, yes. Aha, I knew it. Mark, or whatever your name actually... It is Mark! It actually is my real name. I truly hope that you can find happiness with your choice. Well, I hope so too. Hey, it's my room. Sigh. I lay in bed, motionless, and staring up at the blank white ceiling. Last night was dreadful. The sound of thunder kept me up for hours. But today is another... I'm sorry, just... Today's another day. It's not exactly the same, but it reminds me of Five Nights at Freddy's 4. The entire name. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another... Five Nights at Freddy's 4 flashbacks. Okay. Let's just hope that it's at least a bit better. With another sigh, I begrudgingly dragged myself out of bed and groggily began the monotony of my daily routine. Making my way to the kitchen, I haphazardly rummaged through the cupboards, looking for something to eat. Unfortunately, there's no tasty homemade breakfast awaiting me ever since my parents' divorce. I've just been living off of whatever I can find in the kitchen. That sounds like... Never mind. I live with my mom, but she's always taking business trips abroad. So for the most part, it's pretty much just me at home. It's lonely, but I manage. That's okay. Although I do miss the smell of bacon and eggs in the morning, breakfast used to be a family thing. Dad would read the newspaper at the kitchen table while Mom would stand at the stove and fry up her famous sunny side up eggs. Wow. How cliche. But all of that feels like a long forgotten memory. Well, at least breakfast is sorted. A calorium tea. I guess that's an English joke that I don't understand. Not exactly the best start to the day, but it'll do. Well, then again, my breakfast used to be one apple. That used to be my entire breakfast for a very long time, actually. Until people started telling me, you really need to fucking eat some more. And then I was like, okay, sure. And now I eat like an entire bowl of cereal, those rice crackers with cheese, still one apple, and then like 2 glasses of milk or whatever. So my breakfast situation has improved over the years. I do my own shopping since Mom's never home, but I usually stick to buying the bare necessities. Dark necessities are part of my design. I'm sorry. I see references where there are none. The ease of using pre-made stuff has pretty much set me off the urge to cook meals for myself. With my food quickly finished, I head for the door. At the very least, the weather looks much better than yesterday's. Clear skies beat thunderstorms any day of the week. That's not exactly true. That might not be exactly true, but I don't do politeness. I'm sorry. I'm on the meta game today. But yeah, I like thunderstorms. It's very nice. Especially when, of course, not when you have to go outside, but you know, when you're inside, doors closed, doors locked, you're sitting inside on the couch like a blanket, watching TV or playing a computer game, and then just you hear rain against the windows and just the thunder outside. Oh, yes. And then going to sleep. Beautiful. I'm still lost in my thoughts when I notice a familiar face. It's Sayori! Yes! We have quite a history together. As children, we were basically inseparable. Always exploring, getting up to mischief, driving our parents wild. Typical things that young children do, really. As time went on, especially in recent years, we started slowly drifting apart. In fact, I haven't properly spoken to her in a long time. It's a real shame, after all. We've shared a lot of fond memories with each other. I'm surprised to see her up so early, though. A couple of times I've glanced out the classroom window only to see her hurriedly walking to school. We used to walk to school. I got through puberty. We used to walk to school together. And although she was sometimes a little late to meet me, I never really minded. As we continued to drift apart, however, her lack of punctuality became more frequent, and I just decided it better off if I walked to school alone. Which meant that although I did get to school on time more often, it was quite lonely. Knowing her, she's probably just gotten more and more lazy with time. After all, press X to doubt fucking everywhere. After all, her dedication to sleeping seems to be unwavering. Ah well, still I've always enjoyed talking to her. Hey Sayori, I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Yay! Sayori, you're back! Oh, it's been a while since I've seen you, Sayori. It's good to see you again. She looks a little surprised at my appearance and question. I suppose I can't blame her. Oh hey Mark, I wasn't expecting to see you. That makes 2 of us. You're up early today. She laughs softly, a misplaced looking frown on her face. I've been alright though, not a whole lot has changed recently, you know? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Life has been pretty routine these days. School's kinda meh, although I guess it could be worse. She nods sweet, but resumed the walk to school. Although I can talk to her just fine, she's still an awkward air between us. Oh, there's still an awkward air between us. I guess that's a given, seeing as this is our first proper conversation together in a long time. As we carry on making idle small talk, a sudden thought hits me. Anyway, this might come across as a bit out of the blue skies, but seeing you here has given me an idea. Oh? Well, it's been a while since we've walked to school together. How about we start doing that again? But you really want to do that? I'm not very fun to talk to and I'm always late. I frown. It's really strange to hear Sayori say this, given I've always known her to be a bubbly, cheerful personality. Had to have a bubbly, cheerful personality. Sorry, that's definitely not true. Well, the bit about always being late is true. I've always loved hanging out with you, and I think we'd have a lot of fun again. Besides, I've missed you. I have. Last time I saw you were hanging from the ceiling, Sayori. It's been a while. I'll even help you wake up on time if you need me to. Was that a bit too forward? I don't know. I've never been in this sort of situation before. Oh well, if you played the original game. I mean, we are childhood friends after all, right? Really? Yeah, really. I've missed you too. Aww. Well, let's do it then. From now on, we'll walk to school together, okay? Okay. And there it is. That classic Sayori smile I grew up loving. All the memories I have of us together as children feature that smile. No matter where we ventured, parks, playgrounds, forests, that smile would follow. That innocent, childlike sense of adventure we used to have, it's painfully clear that's long gone. Or that's long gone. But maybe we can still smile together anyway. So what have you been up to lately? Oh, you know, the usual. You mean games, anime, and manga, right? Yep. Well, scratch manga, but games, yes. Anime, cartoons. Anime / cartoons. / series / whatever the freaking fuck you can find on Netflix. Yep, it's pretty much gone without... It pretty much goes without saying. Oh, Mark, you haven't changed. Yeah, you are saying that you think I need to change. No one's perfect. There's always room for improvement. Especially in your case. I'm guessing that you're still part of the Go Home Club. Yeah. So Yuri, have you been hanging out with Yuri or something? Because that seems like a Yuri comeback. Hey, that cuts a little deep. What do you want me to do? Join the soccer club and trip over everyone? It's called football, but whatever. Well, I think a little exercise is good for anyone. I'm very offended if you're going to call me fat right now. Wow. I definitely went through puberty, okay, guys? Well, you don't have to join a sports club if you don't want to. Yeah, I was actually thinking of checking out the anime club. Wow, how'd you guess? It does suit my hobbies though, so... Mark, you should try branching out a bit more. Okay, Miss Club Expert, if you're going to criticize all my club choices, what would you suggest? Well, it just so happens that there's this club that I'm in. Oh, really? You don't say. Yeah, I'm the vice president. Wow, I did not expect that. Dang. So you get to take part in all the executive decisions, huh? Uh-huh, kind of. The club kind of only has 4 members at the moment, but it's really fun. We're actually looking for new members right now. Ah, so that's why she brought it up. Only 4 members. Sounds like you guys are just starting out then. What club is it anyway? It's the school's very own literature club. Of course it is. I unintentionally let out a sigh. Her face drops. I don't think that was quite the reaction she was hoping for. In my defense, literature has never quite captured my interest, unless you count manga as literature, that is. Is that Natsuki foreshadowing? I knew it. You don't want to... I knew it. You don't want to join. I understand though, not many people like reading. Hey, who said that I didn't like to read? I love reading, if you count, manga. I muttered the last word more to myself than to Sayori. On the plus side, Sayori laughs at my sheepishness. Ah, you sound like someone I know from the literature club. She talks about manga all the time. Natsuki. Oh, really? I am actually interested in your club, though. It's very funny how it's role reversal, because in the original game I was not interested at all, and so Yuri kind of like forced me to go, and in this game it's the other way around. So Yuri's like, oh well, you don't want to join, whatever, it's not that much of a big deal, and I'm like, yeah, I want to join. Sayori smiles, seemingly content that I'm showing initiative. If I'm looking for a club to join, I guess the literature club is as good a place as any to start. That's great, you should come by sometime. And by sometime, you're hoping for today, aren't you? The sooner the better. Alright, I'll have a look after school today. Yay, thanks Mark. Although we should probably hurry up. We don't want to be late now, do we? Yeah, you're right. Oh, there we go. There are also new backgrounds and stuff. Within a few minutes, we've arrived at the school entrance amidst a crowd of chattering students. We wave goodbye as we head off to our separate classes. I have Sayori. Oh, I have Sukarai in the morning, whatever that may be. So I'm fairly confident that the next hour or so won't be too bad. Who's Sukari? Sakurai. Okay, who's Sakurai, you might ask? Yes, I did ask that. Only one of the coolest, most down-to-earth teachers we have in the whole school, bro! Being on the young side himself, the experience of high school is much fresher in his mind than in some of the other teachers. Especially the older ones. He gives me a smile as I open the door. Oh, hello, Mr. Sakurai. Morning. How are we doing today? Not bad. Not bad, my lord, sir. Same old. How about you? Well, we're finally starting our module on 20th century history today. So needless to say, I'm excited. I'm not. 20th century history is by far the most boring... No, that's not right. Industrial Revolution is by far the most boring part of history, in my opinion. No offense if you absolutely love it. No offense. Don't pay attention to me at all. If you love it, don't pay attention to me at all. But fucking hell, that's... I don't like it at all. Anything past... Anything past the 18th century is... No, anything past the 17th century is extremely boring. No, 18th century is fine as well. Anything past the 18th century is just like no interest in my mind at all. It goes from Big Bang, from the Big Bang Theory, all the way to 18th century, and then it kind of stops. World War One and Two, and then Cold War are exceptions. But other than that, nothing. And then here he goes with 20th century history. Well, I hope it's about World War 1 and 2, because otherwise I'm out. I'm out. Oh yeah, First World War. Oh, there we go. Here we go. First World War, Nazism, Second World War, that stuff? You bet. Okay, there we go. That makes it a little bit better, at least. I've waited all year. I've waited all year for this to start. I want to start teaching in my Nazi uniform, and we're going to be. It's going to be awesome. Oh man, you guys are in for a real treat. We're gonna watch... Well, what are we gonna watch? We're gonna watch Der Untergang. We're gonna watch Schindler's List. That's something else I really admire about him. He's so enthusiastic about the subject. And that enthusiasm really makes learning about history that much more enjoyable. Learning about history is enjoyable to begin with. You don't need an awesome teacher to do that. Well, it helps. It definitely helps. If you got a teacher that doesn't like history himself, then of course it's going to be boring. But, you know, teaching, learning about history is enjoyable. It's by far my favorite. Surprise, surprise, is my favorite subject in school. Was my favorite subject in school. Combined with the fact that he's fairly relaxed, especially when it comes to homework, you can really see why he's popular. Would be cool. I also had like ideas of becoming an history teacher at some point, but then I kind of realized, oh, hang on a minute, I'm super awkward around people, so no. I mean, I can definitely do the speeching part, you know, like talking an hour long about whatever and telling everybody what they need to learn and all that stuff, but yeah, keeping order in the classroom, like, I'm not good at that. It's either like everybody walks all over me, or it's like I'm the biggest fascist Hitler imitator in the fucking universe. Although he does have a strict side, of course. That side of him comes to light every now and again, so he isn't a pushover. Yeah, see, that's the perfect package. I just lack that final part where I'm not a pushover. By and large, he's earned the respect of his students by striking the balance just right. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't strike the balance right. I just wish that all of my teachers were as friendly and made efforts to know their students better. Oh well, I took a seat and one of my classmates, Emmy, smiles and waves. Bouncy and energetic, she has a reputation for her skills on the track field. Even when she isn't running, she's still pretty much a ball of energy. Oh, hi, Emmy. Hi, new character. We have one of those odd friendships where we get along well in class but don't really see each other outside of school. How are you doing, Emmy? Training was really fun today. Oh? She's always on the hunt for new recruits to join the track team, and she has a habit of dropping some not so subtle hints. Yeah, we're always looking for new people, and I know you aren't part of any clubs, so you should totally join us. No, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm not part of any clubs actually. What? Hang on, I didn't read that. It's funny that you mentioned I'm not part of any clubs actually. I think I'm gonna check out the literature club after school. I didn't think you were the poetic type. But if you ever get bored of writing poems, you know where to find me. How many times do I have to tell you that? Alright guys, let's make it. Alright everyone! Did you take some lessons from Monika perhaps? It's almost criminal that I've had to wait so long to teach my favorite century. It's not my favorite. Not the favorite century by far. Oh, by the way, I guess you guys are gonna ask me, oh, what's your favorite century? I mean, obviously it's Roman era, but what century in the Roman era is my favorite century? I'm guessing that's a question you guys are gonna ask. Second century is my favorite century. Well, that's the end of the first century, beginning second century. Roman golden age. And then the slow decline into not so golden age. And then it kind of stops. Well, that's the school's lessons over. Well, hang on a minute. Did I have one humongous history lesson? Was that all school hours, or was it just history and then it just skips everything else? Because the game can't be that elaborate, naming every teacher and every student. As I linger behind the classroom, I gather up all my things. I hear the door open. It's Sayori. Hi again. Hi, oh, what a coincidence. It's me. Hey, the literature club's meeting today, right? Yeah, it is. I was just heading there now. Do you still want to come along? You betcha. Sayori seems to perk up, looking excited that I still want to come along to the club. Look at you, finally doing some extracurriculars. I mean, if you're the vice president, it can't be all that bad, right? She giggles, making me smile. Each individual club member makes it special. Everyone works hard to have fun together. Well, let's not keep them waiting. It'd be rude to show up late. I want to make a good first impression after all. I guess you're right. Come on. It's right this way, up the stairs at the end. I follow Sayori down the hallway. She seems excited and it's nice to know that I'm making her day at least a little bit better. The stairs lead up to a section of the school that I recognize as the third year's wing. Sayori leads me to a classroom and knocks on the door. Triple dots. Trust me, you're gonna love it. She's definitely enthusiastic about this club, that's for sure. After a seemingly long wait, the door finally slides open. A small pink-haired girl peeks out. Hey Natsuki, how are you doing? Sayori? She peeks out a little further. Hey Natsuki! Guess what? I found someone who wants to join our club. The girl, who is apparently called Natsuki, slowly turns a glare to me and narrows her eyes. She opens the door. Oh, she opens the door fully, and behind her I see another girl sitting at a desk, her face buried in a book. Oh, is that? What? Hey, wait, Sayori. Sayori practically pushes Natsuki out of the way. She seems excited to introduce me to the rest of the club members. That sounds like Sayori. Hey guys, I wanted to introduce you to our newest member. Me. Well, Mark, but me. Ah, Sayori, hold up. It's a bit quick to call me the new member, isn't it? Then I notice a third girl. Peek out from behind the bookshelf in the corner of the classroom. Can it be? Is that Monika? Monika, I like you. I like you in the end. But don't you fucking dare try and do anything. Okay? Come on, eyes on you, Monika. Monika is one of the most popular girls in this high school. Everyone seems to flock to her because she's smart, beautiful, athletic, you name it, she's got it. Unfortunately, this also means she's completely out of my league. Yeah, because apparently there's no route for Monika. She looked at me first with a stern look, but then quickly lights up. Remember when I killed everybody to be with you? But then quickly lights up, puts down the book she's holding and rushes over. Ugh! Why are you not facing me, Monika? This is really weird. No, this is not right. I mean, I'm happy that you're playing along with all the NPCs and stuff, but face me, Monika. This is a cursed image. Ah, Mark, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. The girl who has her face buried in her book suddenly jolts up and looks straight at me? Yeah, looks right at me, okay. She quickly snaps her book shut and timidly moves to join the conversation. Oh, a new member. My name is Yuri. Group hug, everybody's back together. Yeah. Holy crap, it seems that I've somehow lucked out. Not only is Monika in this club, but also a bunch of other cute girls. I'm glad I decided to come here instead of the anime club today. But enough gawking. Mark. Stop staring and start talking. It's nice to meet you, Yuri. Like Sayori says, I'm Mark. I smile at her, then turn to Monika. So it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's good to see you again, Mark. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other, well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. It's kind of strange to say, but having her smile at me so genuinely makes me feel a bit starstruck. The powers of a school idol. You too, Monika. You guys run a club with just the 4 of you, huh? Sayori told me about how you were looking for new members. Well, I've actually been trying to push for more members for a while, but we haven't had any luck recently. Sayori did say. My words dry up in my mouth as Natsuki shoots me a piercing glare. She looks pissed at me, but for what reason I don't know. I haven't really had the chance to do much besides walk in and say hello. Sayori, you brought a boy? Yep, he told me he wanted to join just this morning. Not sure if it's just Sayori being an airhead again, but I don't recall promising that I'd join. Great. Natsuki, like, how can you like her when she's just being like, whatever? I guess people like that for some reason. Natsuki glowers at us, folding her arms with an irritated huff. I can do anime noises too, you know. I don't really get why though. Sorry about Natsuki, that's just how she is. She's a little standoffish to new members. Oh, it's nothing, I don't mind. Bitch! Hey, I'm right here, you know. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I've got to try and make a good impression, though. Come on, Natsuki. We need new members. If you don't feel like being nice to Mark, you can at least be nice for me. Please? Oh, a new sprite! Jeez. You don't have to make such a big deal out of it. Fine. If you're gonna beg, I guess I have no choice. Hooray! Thanks, Natsuki. Looks like I know who the tsundere of the group is now. Yep. It's almost comical, the extent to which Natsuki fits that trope. Well, maybe my view of the world is just clouded by my anime influences, though. Anyway, let's get this conversation back on track. How'd you come to learn about the Literature Club, Mark? I'll have to admit, I'm a bit curious about that myself. Holy shit, I thought Yuri's sprite was fucked up, but I thought this was her arm, but that's Sayori's arm. Sayori and I were just walking to school when she mentioned this club to me. Since I was sort of looking for a club, I figured that I should check you guys out. At any rate, Sayori was really enthusiastic about the literature club, so... Monika beams at Sayori. No, Monika. Sayori's the one doing all the beaming, not you. OSG here says, guess Yuri has done a good job on advertising for the club. I see. Well, I think it's a great place to start. After all, books can be very enticing. Yeah, it's super fun. I think the club is the only place where I've been feeling comfortable lately. Sayori's face falls for a moment, but she quickly picks herself back up. It's somewhere I can sit and read while hanging out with friends. No, don't say hanging out, Sayori, please. I think they summed up the club pretty well. After all, I started it to bring together like-minded people who love literature. Just face me, Monika. This is really weird. I'm really happy with how it's turned out so far. It's very cozy. No, all these sprites are angled. It's not. It doesn't feel natural. But enough introductions. Why don't you come in and take a seat, Mark? Did you bring anything to read? As she asked that, I realized I'm not much of a reader, much less someone who loves literature. To be honest, I haven't thought this through very well. It's like, fuck. Would joining a club that focuses on reading really be the best thing for me? No, I don't really have any books on me at the moment. I just haven't seen any good titles recently. I lie through my teeth, hoping that Monika doesn't see through my facade. Shouldn't that be a different sea? Shouldn't there be like a little thing beneath the sea there? Or whatever. I obviously don't read much, but if they believe that, I do, hopefully it'll help me relate to these girls. Well, we have plenty of books here. If you want to check out what we have, I'm sure that you'll find something that matches your taste. Is that so? Then I guess I'll head over there. Maybe something might catch my eye. I start to sweat nervously as I walk awkwardly to the bookshelf. There looks to be a good variety of books available, ranging in genre from horror and fantasy. From horror and fantasy all the way down to non-fiction. Sheepishly, I turn towards... Yuri or Natsuki. Okay, so there are early choices here as well. I got to go with Yuri. I mean, if the choice is Yuri or Natsuki, obviously it's Yuri. Hey, could you help me pick a book you think I'd like? I'd be happy to. If the prospect isn't too off-putting, I know of a wonderful horror novel. To be honest, horror never particularly appealed to me. It did! Shut up! Still, I want to make an effort here. I have an open mind. What book were you thinking of? Blushing, Yuri bends down and removes a thick book from the bookcase. It has a large piercing eye on the cover. Oh, that seems familiar. It almost feels like it's staring into my soul. One of my personal favorites, Portrait of Markov. Yeah, that seems very familiar. I know it might look intimidating, but sorry. She shakes her head and goes to put the book back, but I stop her. Don't worry about it. I'd love to check it out. What's it about? A coy smile plays across her face, as though she were pleasantly surprised by my enthusiasm. Let's see. The protagonist is a young high school student who moves in with her sister, but shortly after, sinister things start happening. This all seems familiar, yeah? The two are captured by an ominous cult that practices nightmarish experiments on their prisoners. Throughout the story, she's forced to make choices no one her age should have to make. In the process, her ability to trust others is warped, and many of her relationships are broken as a result. Actually, is this a real book, by the way? Because it feels like a book I really should read. Pretty dark, but hey, I'd be lying if I said it didn't sound interesting. Well, it definitely sounds pretty engaging. I think I'll read this book then. Natsuki mumbles something, but she's just barely out of earshot. Really? You don't have to if you don't want to. I do. While this might not be what I usually pick, your description of the plot intrigued me. Although I have to ask, what makes this your favorite book? If I had to put it in words, I suppose I'm a big believer in literature's ability to challenge the psyche. So to have such an immersive tale question your ideals and foundations can be extremely exhilarating. She smiles and twirls a long lavender strand of hair around her finger. Words are immensely powerful. They can paint stunning portraits, invoke emotion, or even whisk oneself away for an entirely new dimension. As she continues to speak, she transforms into a timid girl I just met in... From the timid girl I just met into a proud and confident expert. Yeah, this is just me. This is just me, but then in female form with purple hair. I'm just like, whenever it's anybody's like me, I like conversation is as short as possible, but when I'm comfortable with you, or when I'm comfortable with someone else, or when I talk about something that I like very much, I don't shut up. And I talk about Roman history the entire time, probably, mostly. I get the impression that she feels more at home with books rather than other people. Yeah, replace books with like video games, romance, or whatever, and then, yeah, it's me. Isn't that exhilarating, Mark? We have such a vast vocabulary at our disposal, with such a powerful resource at our fingertips. We can do anything. I clear my throat, hoping that I don't put her off with my evident inexperience. Yeah, when you put it that way, I can understand how powerful the written word can be. I scratch the back of my head nervously. Fortunately, she finds that to be a satisfying answer. Okay. Oh. There's no okay there. One must look. One must look at the words the author chose. We have so many synonyms, so what compelled the author to shape their story the way they did? The feeling I get when I finally finish a truly compelling novel, it leaves me totally breathtaking. The feeling I get when I finish reading about the massacre of Gauls, of barbarians in Gaul, leave me breathtaking. I could be in this game too. I wish I had something as coherent to respond with. We might as well be from different planets. No, that's not true. Well, I guess the character in the game, but not necessarily me. I think I know what you mean. She closes her eyes, pulling her hands close to her chest. Then, as though remembering she's not alone, she suddenly blinks and immediately appears more bashful. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. I must have gotten lost in my train of thought. She fidgets with a thin clip in her hair, sliding it up and down. That's not true. There's just hair there, but okay. Hey, don't worry about it. It's nice to see you talk about something you obviously enjoy. Who's to say otherwise? Yuri glances over to Natsuki, who simply raises her eyebrow in reply. Does Natsuki not like these kinds of stories? She sighs and turns to look out the window. That's putting it lightly. We have our differences in what we enjoy literature-wise. She frowned slightly, as though pained by Natsuki's apparent disapproval. Well, I think everyone's different tastes are what make literature interesting. Especially when talking about it with other people. I can't help but grin. I feel like that was actually pretty clever. Yes, that's a good way of looking at it. I reach over to take Portrait of Markov from her, tucking it under my arm. Well, I'll give this a bit of a read and see how far I can get tonight. I appreciate you giving it a chance, even if it's not something you're used to. I'll be looking forward to hearing your opinion. I must warn you though, once you get past the first few chapters, you might have trouble putting it down. And perhaps tomorrow I mean, if you wanted to, we could discuss it. She looks quite nervous as she suggests that. Guess that's just how her personality is. Yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Thanks for the recommendation, Yuri. I do need to branch out and try new things. This would be a good place to start. I'm grateful that I get to read it on my own, at least for now. I honestly have no idea if I'll ever like it, and if I were reading it with her and decided I didn't, that might make things a little awkward. With the book in hand, I make my way to a desk. The others are all now preoccupied, so this seems like a convenient time to start the story. It's definitely an unusual book. Horror was never really my thing. It is! No, come on! It is. I like horror. But why the hell do you think I'm playing this game? But I have to admit, the main idea is intriguing. And the main characters are written well. The more I read, the more I can see why it appeals to Yuri. All that talk about appreciating sophisticated language. Well, it's not exactly my kind of story. To their credit, the author does a good job building up the rather bleak situation. I've never been particularly imaginative, but even I can picture the scenes in my head. If I weren't so tired, I could probably engage with it more. I also find it funny how the whole text is about that I don't like to read very well or whatever, and then the things describing it are all very poetic and stuff like that. Over time, I can't help but grow a little bored though. I guess I've read enough to be able to discuss it with Yuri tomorrow, so I decide to call it there. Looking up, I spot Sayori reading something. Might as well see what she's up to. I've probably read this for long enough. Setting up with a stretch. There we go. I make my way over and take a seat next to her. Hey, how's it going, Sayori? What are you reading? Here's some familiar soundtracks again. As I sit down, I notice that she looks quite content. Don't you dare, Monika! It flows down into the dark puddle. What good are words when a smile just says it all? But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day? Alright, anyway, as I said, lost my train of thought there. I was just singing along to my your reality. Yeah, that's the name of the song. As I sit down, I notice that oh yeah, I already read that. Nothing much, just reading some stuff for a school project. What about you? You seemed really into your book. Oh yeah, it was a good read. At least as far as I can tell right now. I can't help but wish I sounded a bit more enthusiastic. That's great. So are you liking the club? You're not bored, are you? She looks a little worried, her cheerful persona faltering for a moment. Where did that question come from? It's a bit too early to tell how I feel about the club. Of course not, Sayori. Sure, I haven't been here for long, but I've enjoyed meeting everyone. They've opened my eyes to new stuff. I've never been huge on reading, but I'm confident the literature club could change that. Yeah, it's also a bit weird that everybody is like, you have to be good at reading or good at literature or whatever, or like interested in it to join the club. Like, that doesn't have to, you don't have to already be good at it or something like that. If you're just interested in it, like, oh, I would like to do some reading or whatever, then you join a literature club and then you meet people that are already good at it, and then you're like, you know, you don't have to already be an expert to join. That's kind of the beauty of these things, you know? At least in my mind, that's how it would work. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're involved. You don't want to join a club that you don't have... You don't want to join a club that you have no interest in, right? I know what you mean. I think reading will grow on me in time. Actually, do you mind if I sit with you and read? She looks at me, clearly surprised. I don't think she was expecting me to sit next to her, but nonetheless she seems happy. Her smile is infectious, lifting my own spirits up too. That would be great, Mark. We read for a while, which turns into talking fairly quickly. Our conversation being a continuation of our chat from the walk to school. It's nice to just sit and talk with my childhood friends. Who'd have guessed reconnecting would be so easy? I haven't felt this content for as long as I can remember. Yeah, I haven't felt this content for as long as I can remember. That's a bit weird, but okay. The good mood reflects on her as well, given that she seems very uplifted and bubbly. I don't know what it is about her that makes me so at ease. Wow, we've been talking for a bit, haven't we? Man, I didn't even realize the time. Yeah, I guess we have been talking for a while. I can see why you come to the literature club so much. There really is a welcome at ease vibe here. It's a cool vibe, bro. Must be a nice change of pace after how hectic the school day can be. I was hoping you'd say that, Mark. It really is. I'm grateful for the others as well. They really help make the club the way it is. I can't help but notice that Natsuki and Yuri seem to be very different though. Do they argue much? She looks a little downcast at my question. Sometimes yes, but thankfully it isn't often. Okay, that's interesting. Because in the original game she said that never happens. I can sense this isn't a topic she likes discussing. Well, that's only normal, I guess. Monika seems like a great president, though. Hang on a minute. Nobody has ever said that Monika was the president up until now, right? Or did I miss that? I guess I missed that. The original game is like changes me. I'm looking at everything now. Also, there were like in Act 2 after Sayori killed herself, there were like things that changed everything. There was that one moment where the entire screen just kind of like went like this, and I didn't really realize. I kind of half realized it. And there's also like this picture in the background could change to a picture of Sayori hanging from the ceiling, which I never noticed. I only noticed it when I was editing the video. So yeah, I'm looking at everything now. I'm just very like, I'm afraid to miss something. Yeah, Monika, president, yeah. She must be very proud of this club. Just then, Monika gets up from the desk she was sitting at and faces the classroom confidently. Speak of the devil? Okay, everyone! I hope we're all having a good time so far. Could you please face me? It's weird like this, Monika. I mean, I'm glad you're playing along, but please. There's a good moment of silence during which everyone seems to be glancing at me. Do they want me to respond? I'm honestly having a great time, yay! No, I'm honestly having a great time. Thanks for the warm welcome, everyone. I didn't say everybody, oh, whatever. Well, this is great. Well, it's great to hear that. And as it turns out, Natsuki baked some cupcakes for the club too. Yeah, I know. I was just about to announce it, so let me get them. Let's go sit over there, Mark. It looks like there's room at those desks for all of us. What do you mean? It's a huge ass classroom. There's enough room for all of us everywhere. I dutifully follow Sayori over to where the rest of the girls have pulled a couple desks together to form a table. Oh, yeah, okay, like that, yeah. How about I make some tea as well? Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling a bit awkward, I opt to take a seat next to Sayori. If the conversation starts to die out, I can always rely on her to save me. Meanwhile, Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Woo! Nice to actually add a cupcake in here. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make the ears. So cute! I had no idea you were such good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry out and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika, I follow. It's delicious. Sayori, I should have bought some actual. I should have known that there were I should have bought some cupcakes and then like actually eat them during the live. That's when it would be funny. Now whatever. Room for thought for the next mod that I play. Or the next episode, depending on whether I'll record it. I don't know if I mentioned it, but in the previous game, I recorded the entire game in one evening from start to finish. I started in noon or whatever, and I finished like 1 AM at night because I just was so intrigued. So you know, depending on how often I'll record this one, maybe next episode or something or whatever. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. Should be a U there, but it's okay. It's American English. If she made it all by herself, that's seriously impressive. It practically tastes professionally done to me. But then again, it's not like I have the most discerning taste palette. These cupcakes are amazing. Thank you, Natsuki. Heh, yeah, you better thank me, cause this took hard work to do. Yeah, it really seems like it. Did you make it by yourself, or did you parents help you? Should be an R there. That's actually serious. That you in flavor, I can forgive that because, you know, that's American English versus British English, but I can't forget the missing of that R over there. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Are you saying I couldn't have done it myself? No, it's not that. It seems professionally made, so I was wondering if an actual baker helped you. Psst. I wish my dad was a baker, but just because I don't bake for money doesn't mean it can't be good. Yeah, you're right, sorry. I just suck at cooking myself, so I'm wowed by good cooking. I guess I should count myself lucky that I got to try one of your cupcakes today, huh? Uh-huh. It's not every day that I have time to bake. So be thankful. The expression on Natsuki's face practically says, bow down before me, peasants. Yeah, it's funny to listen to, but how the hell can anybody be like, how the hell can you find that attractive? I don't find that attractive one bit. But that could just be me. I mean, it's funny as in the trope for like a story or whatever, but if you're actually supposed to be romantically involved with someone like that, I would be out so fucking fast. Ah, you're expecting Mark to prostrate himself before you? Looks like Monika had the same thought. You can't blame Natsuki for bragging a little though. I would too if I made these. Yeah, exactly. Natsuki smiles gratefully at Sayori's save. Meanwhile, Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. Yeah, I've read that before. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Ah, I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. I meant that's, you know... Don't worry about it, I believe you. Tea and reading might be a common pastime for me, or something, but I can at least appreciate it. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. I'm happy that you're enjoying yourself. As president of the Literature Club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone! Stick to that motherfucking rule, okay, Monika? Stick to that fucking rule! I like you and stuff, but stick to that rule, please, for the love of the gods and for the love of everyone here. Oh, that reminds me, I've actually been meaning to ask you something, Monika. How come you decided to start your own club? See, there was an R there for that. You could probably be board member of any of the major clubs. Weren't you the leader of the debate club last year? Aha, well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. And I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. But I guess it must be hard to start a new club since everyone's probably settled in their own activities already. You could put it that way. It can be hard to get people invested in things that are brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work to conceive people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like Cultural Festival that much more important. Speaking of school events, I don't think I saw your club at the school fair at the beginning of the year. Ah, that's because I hadn't started it yet. Oh, guess that explains why you don't have many members yet. Yeah, we missed that opportunity to draw in first years who hadn't found clubs yet. It's a lot harder to advertise on a person-by-person basis. And like you said, a lot of people already have other extracurriculars by now. But even so, I'm confident that we can all really grow in this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these three. Oh, shit, I double clicked. Oh, never mind, I didn't actually miss anything. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. By the way, I know that everybody here likes reading, but do you guys write as well? Actually, we haven't really done any writing together, funnily enough. Do you guys just read and discuss books then? You could say that. So it's more like a normal book club than a literature club. To be honest, I was kind of expecting you to do all stuff like write poetry together. At the word poetry, Natsuki jolts back a bit. Do you mean... do you not like poetry, Natsuki? What? I don't really have an opinion on it, I guess. Oh, really? With a sly smile, Yuri gets up and rummages through her book bag and returns with a loose notebook page in her hands. I happen to have a poem called... Hey, where'd you get that? Natsuki's... Oh. With a sly smile, Yuri rummages through her book bag. I happen to have a poem called... Oh, I thought I misread. You happen to have a poem called, but no. Natsuki springs up and snatches the paper out of Monika's grasp. Don't worry, I didn't steal it from your bag or anything. You dropped it on the way out on the way out the other day. I was going to return it, but I couldn't help teasing you a bit before I did that. Well, I'd appreciate it if you kept your nosy nose out of my private work. Haha, duly noted. And sorry. I just couldn't help glancing over your poem when I picked it up. Your writing style is really cute, Natsuki. Hey, your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides up behind Natsuki and puts her arms around his shoulders. I'm not cute! Hey, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So you do write your own poems, Natsuki? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I just think it's pretty neat. Why don't you share them with the club sometime? Not if everyone's just gonna call them cute. Like Sayori said, there's nothing wrong with being cute, you know? Ugh, you wouldn't get it. There's nothing worse than trying to get honest feedback from someone and just having them say it's cute. Scorn drips from the word cute. I guess I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, no one does. It's super annoying, you know. Actually, I believe I understand how Natsuki feels. Natsuki looks surprised at Yuri's sudden interjection. Showing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. And when that's all dismissed with a single remark, well, suffice to say, it can greatly discourage you from putting your work out there again. It sounds like both of you and Natsuki have writing experiences. It sounds like both you and Natsuki have writing experiences in common, Yuri. Maybe. Although I didn't mean to speak for Natsuki. Geez, it's fine. I pretty much agree with what you said, so... A brief moment of silence falls upon us as we all reflect on the conversation. It just gave me an idea, everyone. We all look quizzically at Monika, who smiles knowingly back at us. If we have members who are looking for legitimate criticism of their poetry, how about we do that here? I'm sure we can all trust each other to be respectful, and I think it'd be a fun activity for us. I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing my old poetry. I didn't write it to be read by the public, so... Yeah, same here. That's fine, we can all just go home and write new poems to bring tomorrow. I was going to suggest that anyway, since I didn't think the rest of us have poetry ready to share yet. Sayori comes in. Yeah, that sounds awesome! I think learning about poetry would be really fun. And now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Mark? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Don't you do it, Monika! Don't you do it! The Literature Club has been very welcoming so far, at least after the initial introductions were made. And although I'll have to start writing poems, it seems like a fair price to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Yeah, because that's still that's my primitive male caveman brain, like, oh, pretty girls. Instead of, you know, making friends, having a good time. I had my doubts at first, but given how friendly and welcoming these girls are, I don't really see any reason why I shouldn't join the club. Yep, I'll be looking forward to becoming better friends with you all. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thank you, Monika. Yes, I'm so happy you're joining us. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! And thanks for playing along. She whispers this last... Oh, thanks for playing along. She whispers his last remark in my ear, so she was aware that I'd never agreed to join in the beginning. That sneaky girl. God damn it, Sayori. Well, actually, that's actually very well done, to be honest. In the previous game we just said, I was emotionally manipulated to join, but here I actually was emotionally manipulated to join, kind of. Although Sayori is the most enthusiastic, all the girls' eyes lit up in happiness. I would have been super pissed if you just left after eating my cupcakes. I'm very glad that you're staying as well. Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Don't forget tonight's assignments. Write a poem to bring to next meeting, so that we can hold discussions. Monika looks over at me once more. Mark, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Monika, calm down. Don't fucking do this. Yeah. Can I really impress Monika with my mediocre writing and reading and writing skills? Something tells me no. Jeez, I can already feel the anxiety running up inside me. Oh well, it's not like Monika's going to be as harsh as an actual literature teacher though, right? Meanwhile, the others continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, so Yuri, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? Given that she introduced me to all these amazing people, it's the least I could do for her. Sure, let's head home. With that, the two of us wave goodbye to the others and make our way home. On the way... Oh, that's just the sound. Okay, I thought there were like noises in the background, but that's just the music. On the way back, we discuss the events of the day, focusing particularly on each club member. As we do so, my mind wanders between them all. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. Monika. Weird, angular Monika. I'm excited to hang out with everyone from now on. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of them. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. Yeah, that worked great in the last game. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Okay. Do I have to do anything, or? Oh yeah! Yes! The song is back, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite soundtrack from the game is back. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I love this song so much. It's so awesome. I'm glad that it's here. Okay, it's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member would like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. I wonder if they're new words as well. Okay, so yeah, again, Monika is here. Alright, so I'm gonna do the same thing again, I guess. I'm gonna do the same thing again, where I pick words that apply to me and not necessarily to any of the girls, and then see who I end up with. Although I do want to try something out. I'm gonna pick depression for the first one. Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck? You picked depression, and so Yuri likes that. I believe I like kind of caught on to that in the beginning of the game. I remember one time saying, "Why are you happy about that?" or something along those lines. But yeah, Oh, no. Okay, anyway, I'm going to do the same thing like I did in the first game. I'm gonna pick words that... This isn't the sequel, that I did in the original game. I'm gonna pick words that describe me, and not necessarily any of the girls, and then see who I end up with. Strawberry Inferno in Universe, Scars, Time, Misfortune, Sweet Party, Vivid Swirl. Scars. Oh god, why, Sayori? I actually thought Yuri would like that. I picked Scars, not the... I have actually Scar in my body, but everybody has scars, you know, as in everybody has their own shit to deal with. Kiss, Bounce, Candy, Special, Bliss, Friends, Rain Cloud, Excitement, Massacre, Happiness. Special? I'm picking all the ones for Sayori, apparently. Giggle, Beauty, Question, Bouncy, Vacation, Grief, Fluffy, Jumpy, Mouse, Comfort. Comfort? Scarf, Lily? Now there are some new words here. Vanilla, Nibble, Fireworks, Extreme, Wrath, Ribbon, Bad, Photograph. Extreme? Frightening, Sunshine, Music, Cage, Vitality, Infinite, Bubbles, Unstable, Forgive, Tears. Frightening. Shiny, Love, Unrequited, Spinning, Broken, Defeat, Unending, Poof, Essence, Whirlwind. Love? Lipstick, Family, Childhood, Swimsuit, Color, Wonderful, Journey, Alone, Adventure, Waterfall. Alone? Yeah, wow, Sayori, no. Why do you like that? Manga, Dazzle, Daydream, Pleasure, Cheer, Kitty, Analysis, Breathe, Mausoleum. Mausoleum, yes. The Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. Peaceful, Fear, Promise, Nightgown, Judgment, Raindrops, Fickle, Covet, Disoriented, Suicide. Fucking hell. I know Sayori's gonna fucking jump when I click that. For sure. Fear? Oh god, Sayori as well. Papa, Cheeks, Disaster, Silly, Sticky, Feather, Flower, Sadness, Despise, Lucky. Yeah, I don't know. None of these really speak to me very much. I don't know. I guess I will go with I don't freaking know. Sadness. Fuck it. Explode, Jump, Unrestrained, Embrace, Treasure, Entropy, Fantasy, Headphones, Love, Hopeless. Embrace? I'm picking all Sayori's words apparently today. Electricity, Anime, Determination, Playground, Summer, Disown, Anxiety, Skirt, Marshmallow, Kawaii. Determination. Uncontrollable, Misery, Meager, Cry, Dream, Smile, Lollipop, Pain, Sparkle, Heart. Uncontrollable. Play, Dance, Incongruence. I've forgotten what these words mean. Warm, Heaven Sent, Destiny. Definitely Destiny. Horror, Death, Fester, Peace, Milk, Rose, Tragedy, Valentine, Melody, Clouds. Horror? Parfait, Vivacious, Games. Yeah, finally picked one for Natsuki. Imagination, Heartbeat, Philosophy, Flying, Doki Doki. Yeah, I still haven't looked up what it means. After Image, Cute, Contamination, Together Empty. Imagination. Hurts, amazing, whistle, sensation, secretive, nature, infallible, whisper, lust, pure. Or infallible. Or something, I don't know. Secretive? Chocolate, melancholy, flea, extraordinary, sugar, uncanny, clumsy, romance, hop, and hope. Extraordinary. Mostly pick Sayori's words. Okay, it's time to save, and it's time to end of the episode. Hope you always enjoyed the video, and hope you're excited for more Doki Doki Literature Club, or Doki Doki Blue Skies in this case. So, I hope you always enjoyed the video. Again, no spoilers please, and enjoy. I don't know what's gonna happen, so fingers crossed that people stay alive for a change. Anyway, hope you always enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you did, subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete!